For more on this, we go to former CIA officer and counterterrorism specialist Philip Giraldi. Mr. Giraldi, good to have you with us tonight. How do you assess what's going on between the United States and Russia right now over Syria?
Well, I think Anya explained it very well. The reality is here that the United States is a bit player in this resolution of the conflict. The United States did very little. ISIS was basically defeated by Russia and Iran and the Syrian government, and the United States feels it's left out in the cold. So it's pushing all the buttons it can. We have again this claim of chemical weapons taking place in an area controlled by the rebels, which has no credibility whatsoever.
Well, that's my next question to you, and I think that's really cuts to the heart of it. How good is our intelligence on what's going on in Syria, in your opinion?
I would say we have zero intelligence in terms of something like this, a claimed chemical attack taking place in an area controlled where no one, including the United States, has access to it. They certainly have satellite photos showing whatever the rebels have been able to stage, and they probably have some other sensors and things, but they really don't have good intelligence on this sort of thing.
What would you think if Donald Trump ordered another cruise missile attack to counter this? What would that do? Would he even consider that?
Well, I'd have to hope that he wouldn't consider it, because the last one turned out to be, in political terms, a bad move, in terms of the fact that after the attack, it became very clear that the intelligence it was based on was very poor. So I hope he's learned his lesson from that. But on the other hand, he's extremely impulsive and might try to do something like this. This would be a very bad precedent.
Does it bother you that Secretary of State Tillerson speaks with such conviction on this issue about who's responsible for chemical weapon usage?
Yeah, it bothers me in terms of what he's saying and what also Nikki Haley is saying. Essentially, they basically are saying things that they don't know. And it's very clear to me, as a former intelligence officer, that they don't know it. Because if they had the evidence, there would be ways of conveying that. And they haven't conveyed anything that, to me, is significant.
Does this sound like future covert operations could be on the horizon for the United States in Syria?
Well, I think the whole idea of this residual force that they've been pushing to stay in Syria, which the United States is in illegally anyway, is part of this. There's certainly covert actions probably being planned. Pompeo, head of the CIA, has been very clear that the United States is going to get, as he puts it, vicious. And vicious would certainly include covert action in Syria.
Mr. Giraldi, good to have you with us tonight. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.